See if that's better.
Is it still blurry as hell? Yeah, it is. If you set it to 720p, it's not too bad.
Shall we try this again? That is mildly annoying that it just keeps doing that. So some decent reading material that I found at the library. The current book is The Puzzle Palace, which I'm not sure if it was Isaac or Openfly that had mentioned reference to it, about three-quarters of the way into it. It more or less outlines that everything that the National Security Agency has done since its inception at some level has been illegal. other one that I read before that, which is actually a history of discrimination in this country. It's called The Color of Law. It outlines how, through a combination of government policy and uh, private enterprise, how people of color have been systematically discriminated against for housing. Um, and the practice still exists today. However, they keep changing the terminology and how they go about implementing it. And a great example of that would be insurance, how it functions very much the way mortgage lending used to work prior to the 1960s, where if you were in a specific area, you would be considered to be high risk. So they found ways to circumvent the law by simply changing the way it was implemented. I know I've had people argue with me about, oh, well, it's the way insurance works. It's like, yes, but at the very foundation of the actuarials is very, very discriminatory. And when you factor in how the government has basically corralled people into specific areas, it's not at all fair. You can tell Thundersqueak that she missed the good phone that has crapped out, and now I have to revert to the crummy phone. Whereas the picture quality was a lot nicer a few minutes ago. All right, Sopraso, let me know. I will try opening the mobile client once you're ready with that. Until then, I will continue slinging hot lead. Okay, give me a moment. Let me go see if I can open that client. If you can hear me, the address that I have is 68 230 8399, but I know you just gave me the new one. The port I have is 64738. And why it's beeping, I have no idea, or chiming. Do I need a username? There's a new version available on GitHub. Oh joy. Server connection failed. Connection refused. Yeah, it's just refusing to connect. Yes, Suprasu, it's still refusing connections. Server disconnected. Connection refused. So, for those of us just tuning in, assembling the second of the two Pixie Morse code kits that I have for the 40-meter band. Figure I got them both assembled, then check to make sure all the solder connections are good, and then bring out the test equipment. Because once they're both running, I should be able to receive on one while transmitting on the other, unless I've mistaken and these are just transmitters. So, so Thundersqueak, I haven't looked into it just yet, but I was curious to know how many clock cycles the Z80 versus the 6502 compared to, let's say, like an Atmel chip. How many clock cycles per instruction? Whereas, like, I know on the 8-bit AVR stuff from Atmel, it's like for the most part a one-to-one relationship where you can execute all but a handful of instructions in one clock cycle. Where I know, what is it, the 8051? It's something like a 12-to-1 relationship where if you clock a thing at like 11 megahertz for a 9600 baud serial link, the effective clock rate is something around like 900 kilohertz to a megahertz. So it's pretty laughable. All right, I have some poorly marked capacitors, and I may have some extras. So either I break out the capacitor tester or I just dig in my junk bin, because this might be a 103, that's probably a 103, and this one's just not marked. And I still have one, possibly two capacitors that are not populated on the board yet. Two. I've got C11 and C7. Well, unfortunately, Thunder Squeak, rent and utilities are not free. Well, you can try appealing to them by bargaining to them, and if they refuse, well, that's on them. Why this thing keeps chiming, I have no idea. Why is this thing chiming? Oh, nice. Oh, nice. I think I figured out why my phone, won't run for very long now that I can see that, I don't know if you can see this. It looks like the battery's swollen and the glass is maybe about 2 millimeters away from the body. So I'm going to shut this off and I'm going to contact them to get it replaced. Curious, like, oh, it doesn't seem to want to stay in the case anymore, and now I know why. Hold on. Please hold while I deal with this potential disaster. Stream is over till I figured out how to deal with this phone. Goodbye, folks.